So you've probably been seeing in the news recently about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and you're probably wondering, what does all of this mean? So I'm Bryce with Limits Undefined, and I'll be answering these questions in this video. So if you find this video interesting and you want to see more videos like it, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell, and let's get started. So let's get started off with the most basic question of what is a cryptocurrency? So a cryptocurrency is a digital form of money. It's not like something in your bank account. It is its own separate thing. It's like a file that is worth the amount of that cryptocurrency. So let's say you have one Bitcoin and Bitcoin is worth around $58,000. That one file is worth $58,000. All of those Bitcoin files are stored in your digital wallet. Basically, it's like a hard drive, or a lot of people can use just a little memory stick, or some places just have like a digital format like a bank account, but it stores all of those files of Bitcoin. Now that you understand what a cryptocurrency is, or at least have a basic understanding of how it works, let's get into what is a Bitcoin. So a Bitcoin is a form of cryptocurrency that is not owned by anybody. It's decentralized. Not one single person, country, or business owns it. It's just owned by every single person that has a Bitcoin mining computer. So you can mine Bitcoin on your computer. It may not mine it very fast, but you still can do it. It would take about a month just to make a couple dollars. So it's not really worth it unless you have specific parts that are used in the computer. But every single person that is running a Bitcoin mining computer, they own a portion of the entire Bitcoin network. So let me explain how that all works, because Bitcoin works on a blockchain system. So it passes the Bitcoin from one computer to the next computer to the next computer to the next computer, going on and on until it reaches your computer. So there's a chain of command of all of the Bitcoin computers that pass through, so that it can't get fraudulent. There's no one person that can like cut the system or cheat it out, because if one person cheats it, it still has that whole past record of other Bitcoin transactions before it actually reached your wallet. This may sound a little confusing, but imagine it's like if I want to give somebody $5 and you write down on a sheet of paper, I gave this person $5, and it's in permanent marker. There's no way to erase it. You write that down, I gave this person $5. There's no way to forge that. You pass that on to the next person. The next person gives the $5 bill to the next person, and they sign it with the permanent marker. If one person goes and changes it and say, I gave this person $3, you can look at the sheet and see that the last person that had $5, now the next person only gave them $3. So you can see $2 was lost in that transaction, and that will be cut out right there. So there's no way to like cheat the system, because every single person has a public register of where that Bitcoin has been and how it's been passed along through the whole Bitcoin network. So since you're probably wondering, if nobody owns it, how does the price of a Bitcoin go from $1 all the way up to the $58,000 that it's at right now? Who would want to just go out and buy a Bitcoin just because? So a Bitcoin, you can trade it like a stock. So the percent increases so it can go anywhere from 1% to 5%, either positive or negative. There's been days where it's even gone up like 10%. So it's always changing at every second of the day, 24/7. Bitcoin prices are always changing. So you can buy it at a low point and sell it at a high point for profit. So it can be bought and sold as a stock. Why do I need a Bitcoin if I don't want to be a stock trader? I don't want to be investing. Bitcoin can actually be used by anybody. You don't have to buy one full Bitcoin. You can buy like fractions of Bitcoin. You can buy a half of Bitcoin. But you can actually go and purchase certain items with Bitcoin now. So you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. You can go, I believe there's some sports teams where you can go buy their season passes with Bitcoin. I don't know if you've been hearing about this, but an NFT, or a non-fungible token, I'll explain that in another video, but it's basically a form of digital artwork, can only be purchased using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now that means the demand for Bitcoin is going up, because there's certain places that only accept Bitcoin because it's such a reliable way to transfer money. There's no fraudulent activity between Bitcoin transfers. So a lot of online websites are starting to take Bitcoin because it's an instant transaction, and it also can't be fraudulent, and there's no way to break that chain. So that's just how the supply and the demand works for Bitcoin. So now you're wondering, why would I just want to hold on to $60,000 worth of cash instead of buying a Bitcoin that can fluctuate and go up and go down in price? And The main reason for that is that if you just have $60,000 and just put it in a savings account, that money every single year is going to lose 3%. So that is $1,800 that you're losing every single year to inflation. So the value of money goes down because the US government keeps printing out more money. And why that's a concern is 22% of all of the money, the US dollars that is in circulation currently, 22% of that has been printed in the past year, which means that there could be a spike in inflation rates, meaning that 3% on average could go to around 5%, maybe 7%, and now you're losing even more money on that cash that's just sitting in your bank account. It's just losing you money. There's nowhere it can go, no way to go up. It's just going down. So you're probably wondering, if I put that in a Bitcoin, what if the next day it goes down by 10% and instead you lose $10,000 in one day rather than 3% over 1 year? But the thing with a Bitcoin is that as the demand for it increases, that price could also increase. So like we said earlier, 9 years ago, a Bitcoin was only $1. So if you imagine that Bitcoin is going to still keep increasing from where the point is at right now, it could maybe hit $100,000. So now that one Bitcoin has increased by $40,000, where if you took that $60,000 cash and just put it in a bank account, you're going to be losing every single year a small portion of that money, just chipping away, losing that opportunity cost that you could have had putting it in Bitcoin. Yes, you may lose some of it, but if you truly believe that Bitcoin is going to be going up, it's always just an investment. So I wouldn't say just go take all of your cash and go dump it in Bitcoin, because that is a horrible investment strategy. It's all about diversifying. So having a bit of your money in stocks, having a bit of money in crypto, having a bit of money in cash, and just using all of your investments to help gain you money, not putting 90% of your portfolio into Bitcoin. So I think right now I maybe have like 10-20% of my portfolio in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's not like it's going to be overtaking my full cash amount yet. It's still something that you can lose money on, and a lot of people have lost money. You just got to buy at a certain time and not sell it when it dips. You have to think of it as when you buy a Bitcoin, you want to be thinking that you're not going to trade it back into cash. You're going to trade it for an actual tangible item. So you're not going to need to trade it back in for cash. That's when you know that Bitcoin has reached its peak, when you don't have to trade it back in for cash. You can just go spend your portion of that Bitcoin. So like 0.1% of a Bitcoin, you can just go spend that. That's when you know Bitcoin is going to be like the currency of the future, when you don't have to trade it back in for your actual US dollars or whatever form of currency you have. So hopefully that made a little bit more sense. If you have any questions, please comment them down below. I'll answer them for you. I love to hear from you guys. So if you liked this video, you think found it informative, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll be happy to bring more content like this one. So I'd just like to thank you all so much for watching, and have a good one.